Well, it's now a month later, middle of August. We're going to probably get some thunderstorms later today, so I got in and did a few hours of more chop and drop weeding with a knife, and noticed the bees are really busy with pollinating all the what they call weeds. The bees love them. Good thing they're bumblebees. Although I did find a ground nest of yellow jacket wasps, which I got stung a couple of times, so that wasn't much fun. But the potato patch here is looking okay. Everything's looking pretty good. This row of fava beans we planted quite densely here, and they've taken over. I think they're sort of smothering out the potatoes, which is interesting. And then in this row here we have just ordinary field peas, and they're turning into a real tangle. Hard to actually do anything in there at the moment. But lots of bees liking the pea flowers, and there's looks like lots of field peas we can harvest as a secondary crop. These four beds were established last year, or just in the fall last year, so there's a ton of weed pressure coming out as all the seeds that have been lying dormant in the soil come about. So we're hoping to smother a lot of them. I've noticed we've got a lot of wild buckwheat, which is like a vine, and it just smothers everything, so I'm not too keen on keeping that to go to seed, because if it goes to seed it'll spread everywhere. It's a constant battle. Here are the tobacco plants. They are going gangbusters. I planted them just a month ago, and they're little tiny ones, if you recall, if you watched the previous video. And now some of them are a few feet tall, so big leaves. There's been a few deer taking chomps out of them. But I found that I've put some human hair around the base of them, and I've been watering them with a mixture of water and urine to not just fertigate them, but also the odor keeps the deer off them. So we'll see how that works. And in the next bed over we've got the chickpeas. They're starting to mature. The pods are starting to turn a little bit more yellow. You can feel that there's something inside the pods now. Yeah, summer is certainly kicking on. The 3 trial beds of garlic. Some of the garlic I've pulled just yesterday. They were ready to come out. Some of them are sort of straggling along. You can tell when they're ready to come out when the 2 bottom leaves are dead. And I noticed, like, the trial bed on the left, like pretty much all the garlic was ready to go. So that's all. It's all out. And what you see here is the Egyptian walking onions just sticking up with their little onions at the top. And there's looks like 1 or 2 garlic plants that aren't quite ready to come out. In the middle row, they're taking a little bit longer to come out. There's probably a third. I took a third of them yesterday, and they probably need another week or 2. And then the third bed, which sort of been patchy. I didn't take many, took maybe half a dozen bulbs. They need a couple more weeks. All in all though, like, the size of the bulbs are really good on the first 2 beds. Nice big bulbs, healthy bulbs. So they do like it here, although they do look a little bit beaten up. But that's sort of our area this year. I've noticed the garlic have all been looking like this, so it's not a deficiency in the soil or anything. And the garlic themselves, the bulbs are nice and big and healthy, so that was a sigh of relief. But this right trial bed, those plants are quite a bit smaller. The bulbs are smaller. It sort of struggled through. Well, it was seed we bought compared to the other 2, which were locally sourced garlic, and this one on the right was a seed we bought from, I think, southern Ontario. So it's not really quite used to this climate. It's not used to being in a deep mulch and, no fertilizer and things like that, I imagine. So we'll give it another couple of years just to see how it goes. And finally, our mainline potato crops. You see they're starting to go yellow. They starting to die back. They're mature. They're ready to go. We'll pull them out and I think we'll be converting a lot of these beds, putting them into garlic next year. After especially with the first two beds looking so good, we're going to convert these to garlic and move the garlic from our other site. And that's it. Middle of August 2022.